All right, guys, welcome aboard to our weekly market recap. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. We do this every week on the weekend, recap the whole week, preview the next week, getting you prepared for your trading week beginning Monday. Futures will open at 6 p.m. So again, if you are on the live market blog from Discord, the script, how to get in will be in the description box below. Any questions, feel free to comment on our videos. Appreciate it as always. And again, just want to show you the Discord. This is the live market blog. We'll update you throughout the week, of course, and even through futures open. So if you are interested in that, make sure to click the get into the description box below. There is our website. Make sure to click free plan, and we'd love to see you there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The week in the stock market, right? Might as well just recap that. All right, let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past 5 days. As you know, it was pretty much a big gauntlet week. We did have the Fed FOMC, who did not raise rates. And again, we were saying that was going to happen regardless. But really, what they were talking about is possible rate cuts in 2024. And that's a big pivot. So that is really a pivot because now we've been paused for a couple of months and it looks like we're about to get some easing financial conditions. It's no secret. We talked about what would be a big beneficiary. It would be small caps. IWM up 5.5%. I still like small caps for more upside, especially into 2024. IWM was one of our top 10 stocks of 2023. I'm really thinking of considering putting them in 2024 so we can get the maximum return on the small caps rotation. NASDAQ up 3.35%, no secret there. Lower rates help tech companies. Dow Jones hit a new all-time high this week, up 2.92% this week, and while the S&P gained about 2.5%, kind of lagging behind, but still that's the broader market, even though it is a weighted index. We have yet to hit an all-time high there, but we did hit a couple of all-time highs on SPY. Now, the reason that SPY hit an all-time high this week is really if you count dividends, so total return. Again, we are not there at 479.98, but again, including dividends, we basically got back to where we were. So there you go. This all tells me one simple thing. 2022 and 2023 pretty much wash out. Welcome back to November of 2021. That's kind of how we're feeling here. If you felt that confident back then, if you felt that the market was structurally better back then, fair. But again, imagine that we're at the same stock prices as we were in November 2021. You throw in 500 basis points of rate hiking, talking about cutting off money supply, bringing down the balance sheet, and you're still at the same prices. That's pretty good. That's very resilient. That's actually more sustainable long term, in my opinion. That's why I'm so optimistic for the future because this market rally is not inflated by cheap money. It isn't. This is showing true price discovery with bonds being an alternative, fixed income being an alternative where you can, make 4%, 4.5%, sometimes even 5%, depending on what kind of CDs you have, what kind of savings accounts you have. But it gives everyone an option to don't have to go ahead and chase returns only in the stock market, only in real estate. There's other avenues out there. So when you have true competition, that's when you're showing that the stock market's showing resiliency, getting back to all-time highs, pretty darn close. That's a really, really good sign, team. So again, very, very optimistic for the future, but we'll talk about that in a later date when we do our recap of the year. So again, there's the stock market there. Let me go ahead and also show you the seasonality again. Let's see if I could find it here. And again, we've been talking about this all 2023, team. And here it is. 2023, again, pretty on point. The October flush we talked about, November was strong, even though the seasonality shows kind of sideways action. But December has been roaring, and we expect more upside till the end of the year. So again, yes, stay bullish here, really until all-time highs on the S&P 500, which we have not gotten yet. SPX 4719, my call was all-time highs by the end of the year. We got about 2 weeks to get there. 4818, we're only 100 points away. Crossing your fingers, let's see if we get there. So that's where we are. Again, we expect more upside due to seasonality. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the results of the options trades this week. One red trade this week, and it was a big bounce back. Shopify, last week we actually had a downgrade the day after we got in with 3 upgrades from other investment banks. Those smoked premiums brought this down, but we got as high as negative 23% deep in the money, mind you. We actually hit the strike and everything, but being right in options trading isn't enough, guys. I wish it was just that simple. Just be right. You actually have to be on time. And with the breakdowns that we've been and updating everybody as well, it's a tough one. Sometimes, it just happens that way. I wanted to hold on to it. Mara came back. That thing was down 95%. We got 32% and closed it. So well done to the team. That thing was minus 94%. So yes, things can turn around. It just takes time. Boeing, that runner is higher than I thought. Again, we had the 250 calls. We got out for 54%. Goldman Sachs, 40%. The best trade of the year was actually Goldman Sachs. Over $2,000, 2,000% returns on that. Let me see if I can find Goldman Sachs. There you go. 2,039%. That is literally the best return that we've had on an options trade in 2023. So that's a Hall of Famer right there. So congratulations to everyone that caught Goldman Sachs. That was just beautiful. And that was not an easy one. We got into that December 11th. And again, that was a Monday ahead of the Fed. And again, it was chopping around for a little bit. So excellent work. AMD deep in the money as well. Hit as high as 120%. That probably went higher. We had the 140 calls. Apple, we had the 195 calls. That was going as well. I don't have the exact runner. The only one, it was really Goldman Sachs that I had since I took my profits on Apple. Bank of America, we did get as high as 60%. I gave everyone the option, but I am holding Bank of America calls. I still expect banks to take another leg higher, just like the small caps did last week. I do have Apple and Citibank calls open. So a pretty decent week, excuse me. Again, I have a high bar. I want undefeated every single week, but looking at how we did, looking at how everyone profited on just one Goldman Sachs, look there, 734%, 2,000%, Apple 200%, IWM 875%. You could see M-Turo right here took our advice, went with IWM. Like we said, we were expecting more upside. 1,000% return on just one contract. Those runners make a difference. Congratulations to the team. That's what I want to see every single day. And another one here at Goldman Sachs. I mean, it's just one of those. I can't say that every single option we make can be that. That would be nice, but sometimes you just got to be ready. That's all it is. Be ready. Have your runners. Stick to your analysis. I think you guys are going to be okay. So pretty solid week. Again, I wanted undefeated. We were pretty close, so I'm not too upset. That helps December. Obviously, we were on a 6 win streak on options. Pretty solid. The only thing is we need a little more. Let's see if we can get Apple and Citi, a couple of trades that didn't work out for us that 1 week where we only had Q puts and we reversed higher, thinking that we're going to get an overbought pullback. Shopify again took a hit, and then Disney and AMD were really from holdovers from November. So again, we got 2 more weeks. I think that we're going to go ahead and stay strong, stay with the momentum, stick with the analysis, and we'll find some opportunities out there. Next week is a full week. The week after will be a short week for the next 2 weeks with Christmas and New Year. So good stuff all around. Let's go ahead and pivot now to Forex Factor. And here we are. This is the week coming up. We have final GDP numbers quarter over quarter for Thursday, 5.2%. That's pretty good. We have core PCE now. Again, that's not going to really mean as much anyways due to the fact that the Fed is now pivoting to more of a dovish stance. Meaning what? Meaning that we're going to cut some rates. And that's the expectation. Inflation has lowered enough. Appears like they feel that they've won the battle of the high inflation time of 2022 into 2023. Reminds me a lot, if you are about history, the 1982, 1983 kind of Ronald Reagan recession as he got into office, sort of thing. We actually had high energy prices, issues in the Middle East. We also had high mortgage rates as well, high inflation, and that took time. Things tend to level up, guys, over time. So that's how it goes. That's where we are currently. I think we continued that momentum again, running into the end of the year, as I do expect all-time highs to hit. All right, so again, let's go ahead and talk about what I'm watching this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of names, and I will post them on Discord as well. Here we are. All right, Amazon, finally, 150. If we can get above 150, I think that's where we're going to take a look at this gap fill, 162. Again, longer term. So again, we don't have to do the 163s for March or anything like that. What we could do is start taking a look at anything in between that has high volume. Anything above 1,000 is what we're looking for. I do like Amazon. It is a breakout. The next 12-month target, and I think that's going to happen even before that, will be 163.06. That's your gap to fill from April 22. I love Amazon here for more upside. Again, breaking that fib line there. Let's go and take a look at the weekly. Yep. And you could see the top we had was 188.65. We're just breaking the 38.2. Get me to that gap fill there from the daily. And that should be a nice trade. So Amazon should be on your watch list as well. Let's take a look at good old Tesla. Tesla's been a name that we've been watching. But again, has been chopping. We finally broke out of a nice key trend line. There's also a trend line here really from October lows. I'm looking for that break of 257.07. Taking a look at the 268 to 270 call strikes. That'll be a retest of the October highs that we had before their earnings fall. So that's a stock that we'll be watching. Good old Tesla, looking for calls above 257. Take a look at the 270 to 265 calls. And I think I have one more for everybody. Good old Boeing. And Boeing we hit last week. I still like it. Get me to the all-time highs of 278. What does that mean? Get me above 265, which is the recent highs. Then we could take a look at the 270s or 275s. Again, taking a look at possible time, extra time, which is very needed, as we know. Things can chop, anything can happen, but that's what we're looking for. I don't know why this alert didn't come up. 265.52, let's put it, oh, there it is. There we go. Went ahead and put that alert up there. So once that breaks, we're going to take a look at the 270s to possibly the 275s, buying some time. But it is a nice breakout, one of the top 10 stocks of 2023. Good old Boeing, that's what we're looking for in terms of our stocks this week. In terms of the almanac, Tuesday will be a bearish day, technically speaking. They said Friday would be a bullish day. S&P was flat. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Thursday, bullish day. That kind of coincides with GDP numbers that are coming out. So again, we'll see what we get from there. It's been a great December so far. Again, we need to keep the momentum going forward. So let's go ahead and pivot one last time now, since we got over a watch list on the absolute scenarios that can happen. So let's take a look at SPY. And again, this is the problem, is possibly overbought conditions, right? So let's go to RSI. We'll go to the daily. That is been overbought for a little bit now on SPY. So again, you could see where that number was at 80. So really, what are we looking for a possibility of pullback or so? 460.29, that is your hard support. I think all dips should be bought moving forward. The question is, how much of a dip are we looking for? But looking at here on the daily, just a retest of the breakout from December 11th, that is definitely a possibility. Now, I don't think that'll happen by the end of this year, but I do see us kind of looking at that level near the 20-day moving average. If we get some kind of weakness, again, anything could happen, but I just don't see it happening towards the end of the year. Maybe into January we could, but keep an eye there. Maybe you're an investor and you're taking a look for a possibility to buy in, or maybe if it got away from you, you missed the rally. 460.29 I like. QQQ. In terms of a place where we could buy a pullback, you're probably taking a look at 395 to 392. That's about $10 away. QQQ hit a new all-time high, guys. So overbought conditions as well could possibly get a pullback. I just don't see that happening by the end of this year. Again, you could have days where you pull back, 1% or so, but an actual flush down, no. I think that we should get that out of our minds, because that's not happening by the end of the year. Not with the seasonality happening. Again, we would need some really bad news to get there. One more for the road, IWM. I know IWM has been tough for us this year, so we may just pivot into Russell. $200.08. That's the level we're looking for. We do have a gap to fill at 193.99. The last time I tried to short this market was QQQ. Didn't work. So again, don't fight the tape. Use the tape if it pulls back to give you an opportunity to buy. Selling here is going to be difficult unless you're trying to buy insurance. If you want to buy insurance now, it's the cheapest time to do so in terms of the volatility index. If you break 1154, then I think a short squeeze is in order. That's pretty much the lows that we've had. How much time now? You're talking about years. Way oversold now. Now, VIX is not a tradable security. It is an index, keep in mind. But again, 1154. If you break below that, that's where it gets pretty ugly, and that's where you need to start buying some insurance and start taking a look at some puts. The stronger we get in December, it'll be weaker in January, in my opinion. So you're going to get some of that get back. So don't be surprised that in January we get a little added weakness. That's okay, depending on how December does. If December ends very, very strong, I assume going into January, you're probably going to get a lot of profit taking, which is completely natural and normal. But understand that really the backdrop is really supporting continued upside into 2024. Again, that is something we'll discuss in more detail in terms of the themes and the macro and all that when we do our video. So I don't want to get too lost in the weeds now since we still have 2 more weeks to go. A lot more data to come in, and we'll see how the price action goes. But I hope you guys do join me for that video. We got a couple of videos coming out at the end of the year. We got the top 10 stocks of 2024, the top 10 stocks of 2023 revisited one more time. We're going to talk about the preview of 2024, what to expect, the themes, and of course, we're going to also talk about how we did in 2023 in terms of GAR Capital. So thank you guys for your time. I hope you guys have a great morning and a great rest of your weekend. Go Cowboys. We play the Bills at 4, so I got to knock this video out early, get ready for some football. So hope everyone enjoys the Sunday, and I'll see you guys on the market blog right when the futures market opens, and then we'll talk on Monday and kind of go over how we did over the overnight session with Europe and Asia, kind of prepare ourselves again. So with you every step of the way, guys. I hope you join us. Don't forget, we also have a deal running. We also have the annual plan running again. At that is the discount now. I believe if I could get that, I think it's $1,500, but now we took it down to $1,999. And again, that includes every single thing available, which is the Forex investment club. You also have the options trading and futures trading. Recap everything with you. Do a nightly video with you as well with Nick, and then we kind of break down every single watch list while walking you through every single trade, just like we had with that merit trade. We held on, we kept you guys up to date, gave you some exits, and also on Shopify as well. If you would like to take a look at that, check it out. You can see on the watch list of charts, that's available for premium members, annual plan members, and of course, masterclass. And you can see all the great resources that we do offer to everybody. Let's grow this company. Let's make it a great 2024. We set the foundations now for the future, and let's get ready to profit from this bull market because these business cycles don't last forever. So let's make let's maximize all of it. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and see you for the next video. Cheers, all. Have a great weekend. See you later.